Prince Philip's world collapsed after the death of Queen Elizabeth II's father King George VI, as the young royal was propelled to the top of the monarchy unexpectedly. ITV showed a remarkable documentary last night exploring the life of Prince Philip, spanning his 8 decades in the royal family. With the use of archive footage, some of which shown in color for the first time ever, some famous moments of Philip and the Queen's time together were brought to life. In the film titled Philip, Prince, Husband, Father, moments from the Queen and Philip's engagement announcement and later their honeymoon appeared in full color for the first time. One video shows Her Majesty, then 21, and the Duke of Edinburgh, aged 26, on a balcony in Buckingham Palace on July 9, 1947, after announcing their engagement. In another colorized clip, the monarch and her husband are seen walking in the grounds of Broadlands in Hampshire during their honeymoon on November 24, 1947. Through interviews with various royal experts, some of the tougher moments in Philip's life were also looked at. This includes the aftermath of King George V's death, and how this moment saw Philip's world collapse. At the time, Philip's career in the Royal Navy was his biggest passion, and was also going from strength to strength. Martin Palmer, a former religious advisor to Philip, told the documentary, "When they heard the news in 1952 that the king had died, I think his world collapsed. His natural place of service in the Navy was no longer possible, and I think it was a huge shock." Former Conservative MP and author Giles Brandreth added, "It happened sooner than anyone might have hoped, because the old king, George VI, died at a much earlier age than anyone would have wished for." The film then showed an archive interview of Philip discussing how the death of George VI changed his own life. Philip said, "The thing is, both the Queen and I got pitchforked into a situation well before our time, well before our age group. And, at 30, that was obviously a pretty intense experience. Once Elizabeth had become queen, her job took priority, meaning Philip had to sacrifice much of his time and career. Indeed, he had to quit his Navy career to become the monarch's consort full-time." During the Queen's coronation at Westminster Abbey on June 2, 1953, Philip knelt before his wife, clutched her hands and pledged unswerving loyalty. He said, "I, Philip, Duke of Edinburgh, do become your liege man of life and leman of earthly worship. And faith and truth I will bear unto you, to live and die, against all manner of folks. So help me God." While Philip was taken away from his military life, he immediately looked to reinvent the monarchy by introducing various changes. For example, according to reports, he brought in modern filing systems and pioneered the use of a helicopter for work. Equerry and best friend Mike Parker claimed the changes went down badly in certain quarters of the palace. He said, "Some of the old guard weren't happy. We met with a fair bit of resistance. But we made a few improvements, dragged them into the 20th century." Large numbers of Commonwealth and colonial troops arrived from all over the globe for the coronation and were stationed at barracks across the country. The prince wanted to visit them all and decided the best way to do it was by helicopter, so he borrowed one from the Navy. Prince Philip once said, "It caused a ruckus. I didn't go through the proper channels. There was a lot of pettifogging bureaucracy." Mr. Parker, who was later forced to resign from his role following reports his wife had demanded a divorce, said, "The problem was simply that Philip had energy, ideas, get up, and go, and that didn't suit the establishment, not one bit."